The second time I almost got arrested at work, plus was almost banned from ever being able to enter an airport or an airplane again while COVID was happening. Now, this story takes place in January-ish of 2020. Now, this is before there were mask mandates. This is before there were lockdowns. This is just when COVID was like a concern, but it wasn't that serious yet, okay? You guys remember that awkward period? Now, I still lived at home with my mom. I wasn't married yet. So, my mother is a very paranoid individual. Now, I will say she was right on the whole COVID thing. She did call it, so good on her. But she, and since I was working at home with her, or I was working at home and lived with her, wanted me to wear a mask. Now, this is in the northeast of the United States, so it's cold as hell. There's snow all over the ground. So I need to go to my job, and she wants me to wear a mask, and I'm, you know, wearing like a hoodie or a coat or something. And that day, I had a job at the airport in Boston. Boston Logan Airport. I will not say how long of a drive it was, but it was a long-ass drive to get there. Now, since the ATM company I worked for was not based anywhere near me, I had to usually go to a UPS store and pick up all the parts that they were sending me to replace, all the computer parts. So I would go over there, get my computer parts, and then I would go off to the job. So I went off to my job after I went and got my computer parts. I had all my stuff with me, and it was it was interesting. So usually what you would get is a cardboard box with no markings on it. Here, let me give you a really good example. You would get a cardboard box, just a big brown box, that would have no markings on it, and it would just have like a ton of stickers and stuff on it. And this is, no joke, this is what the box looked like that I received, okay? Here's our box. You know, there's a computer in this, okay? Okay. And this is what you'd expect a normal box to look like. You know, you have the tape across the top, and that's your cardboard box. Maybe like a label on the side, you know, from them mailing it. Beep, 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 beep. Well, think about this. Every time that you send a package to the UPS, they got to put another label on it. So put another one on there. And 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 now put some scribbles on it. Because people were writing on it with Sharpie. Oh, and of course, how could I forget? The corner of it was pretty effed up too, so it was kind of like that. Oh, more like this. That's what my box looked like. That had my computer in it. Now, I keep stressing that this is a computer because remember, you have to go through metal detectors at you know, airports to be able to get to the areas. And computers, 1, are electronic, 2, are made of metal, and 3, technically have explosive residue in them sometimes. This becomes important later. Are you starting to see the issue? So I am given this box, and I now need to walk through Logan Airport. Now, if any of you have ever flown to or from or have had a layover in Boston, Massachusetts, you know that Logan Airport kind of sucks balls because it's absolutely massive. So here's our package. I'm going to take this, okay? Actually, I'm gonna make a whole new thing, all right? So that we can keep track of all this, because we're gonna have to switch between these things. Now let me give you a rough map of Logan Airport. It's kind of shaped like a horseshoe, okay? Except you have like outdoor sections as well, so it's like wham, wham, and that's kind of what it's like. And then you had like zone D, C, B, and A. Okay, that was kind of the layout. And where I parked, I had to go in on zone D. Now, I want you to really think about this. Let me paint this picture for you, okay? I had to go in and go repair an ATM, which is a weird thing even when I go to banks. Like, they're kind of sussy on me, okay? So, this is me going in to the place, okay? That's me. But this is before mask mandates were in place, by the way. My mom wanted me to wear a mask so I didn't catch COVID. So I'm entering the airport with a mask on. Exactly, Skimmy. See, you get it. Unmarked box with explosive residue. Boom, boom. Exactly. exactly. So, kind of an issue. But it gets worse because this isn't just what I looked like, right? It gets terrible. Sus man with a mask. Yeah, sus man with a mask. But, like I said, it's, you know, the cold state of Massachusetts in winter. So I'm wearing a hoodie. So I kind of looked a little bit more, I don't know. I can't really draw a hoodie very well. You know, kind of like this. Actually, that turned out pretty all right. And we're just gonna like fill that in. So I was wearing a hoodie, but I had a mask on. Hoodie, mask. Okay. And also, yeah, exactly, dude, trying to evade a camera spotting him. Right, yeah, see, you're putting this together. Here's my box that I'm carrying. Okay. And, you know, it's got its tape along the top, and it's got all this weird-ass stuff on it, and it just looks like it just screams the word bomb. And I'm walking this thing around Logan Airport. I'm walking through an airport, dressed in a hoodie, with a mask on before you're supposed to wear a mask, and with a sus-ass box. Now, I don't think I need to tell you that this looked like I was trying to bomb the place, but it looked just like that. Now, okay, it gets worse. There's a computer in that box. They have explosive residue usually. I've gotten stuff for that in the airport before. When I had a laptop, my gaming laptop, all right? Get this. They were like the old style computers, the massive towers. That box weighed like 45 pounds. We'll go back to our map. This is big. This would probably take me a good 30 minutes to walk from one end to the other. Carrying a 45-pound box. Looking like that. Looking sus. Okay. So maybe you're seeing how this story is going to line up. You'll remember again, the management for my job is terrible. So all I know is that I have an ATM. There's an ATM somewhere in this building that I need to work on. However, we don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. And so at first I didn't know that was going to be an issue. So instead I saw an info desk. You know, I got a little desk here. You know, boop, boop. Oh, work. We have info desk. It's got a little phone on it. Little telephone, like this. Just consider that a telephone, okay? I'm doing my best, all right? And, you know, there's a lady there. And so I walk up to the info desk, and I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm supposed to work on an ATM here today. And I gotta be able to, you know, I gotta probably let somebody know and stuff like that. I also want to let security know. That way, you know, they don't think I'm weird or anything like that. Because, again, I'm there wearing a mask before COVID was, like, considered a big thing. I'm wearing a hoodie because it's cold as hell and there's snow out and it's the wintertime, and this is what the box looks like that my freaking computer is in that weighs 45 pounds that more than likely has explosive residue on it. Not a good time. Not a good time indeed. And she was super chill. She's like, oh, yeah, just use the phone here. Here's the number, whatever. And I was like, okay, do you have security's number? Because I wanted to call them first and get that squared away really quick. So I call up the security desk, okay? All right, and now security at Logan Airport is actually not, like, security. It's actually the Boston Police Department. They have, like, their own thing for it, okay? That's a policeman cap, and that's a policeman badge. He's wearing that, okay? Here's his policeman gun that he would use to shoot me with for walking around with what looks to be a bomb. So I call this man up on the phone, okay? So here we are on the cell phone. All right, and here I am on my cell phone. Okay. Here's my mask. Really want to get this drawn on right. My hoodie. Wow, that looks bad. Hey, you know, so I'm calling this guy. I'm calling this guy up, and I'm just trying to explain the whole thing to him. And I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm here to work on an ATM. He's like, okay, yeah, you're here to work on an ATM. That's cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you know, I just want you guys to know, because, like, it looks, like, mad weird, because I'm just walking around with, like, a big freaking cardboard box. It looks like this, and I described the whole thing to him. And he's like, he's just kind of like, hits me with one of these over the phone. I could hear him just kind of go. Kind of hear this guy's eyebrows raise. It's like, all right, so you're walking around with a weird box, whatever. It's like, can I get your name? Now, I am not going to tell you guys my full name, but if you look around, you'll probably find it. Your neck is as long as a bronchiosaurus. Oh yeah, it kind of is. And so I'm not going to tell you guys my full name, but if you know my last name, you can understand that it's not a believable last name. So he didn't believe me. He thought I was giving him a fake name, but he went with it, whatever. So they're already a little sus of me because now I've called security and now they think that I'm giving them a fake name. Now we go back to Area D. That's where I am at in this airport right now, Area D. Now, again, COVID is not yet a thing, but my mother is super paranoid and she's gotten me really paranoid about COVID. Now, Area D exclusively had flights in and out of only Asia. Remember that COVID started there in the Wuhan district of China, I believe. Okay. So that made me very concerned. So I'm walking around and they were like, I was trying to like call info people and nobody knew where the ATM was I was supposed to work on. So I called my manager after walking around for a bit because I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll find it. It gave me an address because technically I think there's different addresses for each section. So I called up my manager and I'm like, hey, where is the ATM that I need to work on? And they're like, oh, we don't know. What do you mean you don't know? They're like, it's at the airport. I'm like, do you know how big airports are? Where the hell do you live that you can say it's at the airport and I can find it? There's probably like 30 ATMs here, okay? Tell me where the ATM is that I need to work on. Now, I won't bore you guys with the details of this, but this kind of gets rough. So I'm waiting for her. She's like, yeah, I'll email you back. Now, I made a mistake myself of you're never supposed to leave something unattended at the airport, so don't ever do that. You never luggage, never bags, anything like that. Especially not your shifty-looking, stupid computer ATM box that looks like an effing bomb! It looks like one! That looks like a bomb! And I had to go pee! So here's the men's room, okay? And I really had to go pee. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna pee my pants. And I'm tired of waiting for these people. I'm gonna go pee. That's what I'm gonna do. And for some reason, my dumbass was like, yeah, you know what a good idea would be? To take my sus-ass box and leave it here. And just freaking leave that thing right outside the bathroom. So it's like right here. And I go to the bathroom and go take a leak. That's not a good idea. I come out a minute later. And now, a minute later, I've come out of the bathroom. I've relieved myself. And there's a man standing here. And he's not security. He's just some dude. But he was looking like this. Right? He gets his phone out. Gets his phone. And he's like talking about it. I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. So I picked my box back up. I picked it up. He's like, hey, is that yours? I was like, yeah. He's like, what is it? I'm like, oh, I'm working on an ATM here. I just had to put this down. I had to take a leak. He's like, oh. He's like, so you put that there? I'm like, yeah, this is just mine. I guess I rolled high enough on a charisma check with this guy. Because he's like, oh, okay. He's like, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've been to an airport before. I had been like once. He's like, don't leave stuff unattended. He's like, I was about to call security and like get a bomb team in here. Because that doesn't look good. And I was like, oh, frig, you're right. And at this point, I hadn't even thought about how bad this with this really looked. But that doesn't look good. And I was like, frick, man, you're right. Thank you for, being cool about it. That's totally on me. He's like, yeah, all right, whatever. Have a good day. He was pissed, but understandably, right? I'd be pissed too if I thought that there was some like freaking stupid 20-year-old kid trying to blow up the airport and he was doing it like a dumbass, right? Whatever. I finally get a call back from my manager after like sitting around for like an hour at the freaking airport. It's like maybe 9 a.m. now. And she calls me and she's like, yeah, okay, so we found out where your ATM is that you got to work on. It's in area A. The ATM is located in area A. Okay? Just remember, I'm in area D. This is area A. And this, from D to A, is a 30-minute walk. So I need to walk 30 minutes looking like this with a 45-pound box that looks like an effing bomb while I'm dressed like this. Nobody else is wearing masks at this point in COVID. Nobody else. Just me. I was going to take it off because I didn't want to fear the wrath of my mother. And also I was afraid that I would get COVID and my penis would fall off or something. So I didn't want to mess with that. Okay? I was trying to get married soon. I was hoping I might need it. Turns out I didn't. Exactly. I looked like a sussy baka. So, I had to walk all the way over there. All right? In come airport security for the first time. All right? So I'm walking, and I get stopped by these two dudes. These two cops, right? Yeah, let's give them shades since they're cops, you know? Yeah. Oh, that looks rough. Like this. Bop, bop. Okay. And I get stopped by these guys. All right? They Paul Blart. No, they're Boston police officers. They don't have airport security. It's Boston police officers. These are very in shape cops. And so they stop me. No idea why they would stop me. No clue. No idea why. They stopped me about here. So I didn't get very far, right? I maybe walked for like 5 minutes and they stopped me. And they're like, hey, son. What are you doing with that shifty-ass box and that mask and that hoodie? I explained the whole thing to them. They're like, all right, yeah, okay, whatever. They went with it. They're like, all right, well, where are you going? I'm like, I'm just here to fix an ATM. I just got to go over to, like, Area A and go replace the parts inside of an ATM. That's all this is. And they're like, okay. And I don't remember if they asked to look inside the box. I don't think that happened until later. I think that was the second time I got stopped. But they were like, all right, whatever. And they left me on my way. So now I've left Area D. There's very few people in Area D. This all sounds like you're making it up. Galaxy, I so desperately wish I was making this up. This is one of the worst days of my life, okay? If you want to think that I'm making this up, that's okay. I'm not going to lose sleep over you thinking I'm making it up. I don't know how I can prove to you that I'm not, other than me telling you that this is real. No, exactly. Well, they didn't arrest me. They didn't. They were just like, all right, whatever. And they let me go. I only made it about 5 feet. Now, there's not many people in Area D because that only takes in flights from Asia. And a lot of people were still, you know, like even though COVID wasn't a big deal, people were still wigged out by it, so they didn't want to mess with that. So I enter Area C now. Area C is populated with human beings, okay? Tons and tons of people. This is your worst day? It is one of them. 100% it is one of them. All right? Now, this is like all the people. Pretend that these are like heads of people. All right, this is all the people in there. And this is me walking up to this group of people. All right, here's me with my mask. Like that. My hoodie. And there's all those people there. Not looking good. Not looking good because I'm walking in with a 45-pound box with a mask and a hoodie on, and it looks like I'm carrying a bomb. So I walk in. And the second I walk in the room, all right, bro? Freaking I have got eyes on me, brother. I walk into this room. I've got this freaking big-ass box, this big-ass hoodie. And it's just this. It's just this from every single person there, right? Just... everybody. Everybody's like... that's sus. That's sussy. Okay? Not a good time. Everybody's giving me a look. All right? The freaking middle of the room parts. Yeah, I'm the imposter. I look like the imposter. I was Among Us before anybody knew. All right. Everybody's making way so that my dumbass with this stupid... What's up? Huh? Yeah. I bring her in here. Eba, puppy. The puppy's gonna come join us. All right, guys. If the puppy's joining me, I'm losing the suit because it's getting super hot in here.